Phase 2 begins with Daredevil, which will remain mostly the same, because I actually think it's a bit of an underrated movie. I quite enjoy it. There would probably be a reference to Spider-Man in the movie, and the post-credit scene would have a couple of Avengers showing up to recruit Daredevil. X-Men United remains exactly the same. There's nothing I could really think of to change at all, other than this takes place a couple years after the first movie. Iron Man 2 takes some elements from the actual Iron Man 2, including the introduction of War Machine. However, instead of Whiplash and Justin Hammer, Obadiah Stane is the main villain and he becomes Ironmonger. Hulk, I also don't have much to say about because I haven't seen it and I've heard mixed things about it, so I'm just gonna leave it the same for now. Captain America the Winter Soldier remains basically the same as the actual movie, except that Baron Zemo replaces Alexander Pierce, and Yelena Belova is introduced as a cameo. The post-credit scene shows Zemo being recruited by Loki. Next is The Punisher, which is another movie I haven't seen, and I don't know a lot about The Punisher, so the plot generally remains the same, but also maybe deals with the aftermath of Daredevil a bit. Spider-Man 2 is already great, so it essentially remains the same other than Dr. Octopus is connected to Stark Industries and Kate Bishop has a cameo. I realize that this would technically be before she was introduced in the comics, but it's close enough for me to say that in this timeline they just plan to introduce her in the movies and comics at the same time. Doesn't make a ton of sense here, since Kate here would be pretty different from the comics at the time, but it's close enough that it still kind of works. Blade Trinity would basically be a better version of the actual movie, with Abigail Whistler instead being Elsa Bloodstone, and the post-credit scene that shows Thor arriving on Earth. Next we have Fantastic Four. This movie is okay. It's not the best, but it works well enough, so I'll just leave it the same, but with more build-up for Galactus. Avengers Under Siege begins with Thor arriving on Earth to warn the Avengers of his brother Loki. Loki assembles a group of villains, including Zemo, Mystique, Bullseye, and Ezekiel Stane, the son of Obadiah Stane. This group is referred to by the Avengers as the Masters of Evil. The Avengers defeat the Masters of Evil, but Loki uses the Tesseract to summon his Chitauri army. But the Avengers manage to stop that as well. At the end of the movie, the lineup shifts. Spider-Man and Daredevil go back to focusing on street-level threats, Wolverine returns to the X-Men, and Iron Man tries to retire. The new Avengers team at the end of the movie consists of Captain America, Black Widow, Hulk, Thor, War Machine, and Falcon. The post-credit scene reveals that Loki was sent by Galactus. The epilogue to Phase 2 would be Elektra, which would be similar enough to the actual movie, but way better. And Typhoid Mary would be the main villain.